Hello and welcome back to the newly renamed morning show, Jose and
Breakfast,
myself.
breakfast. That's what it's called, Neil. Jose and myself. All right, welcome. um, breakfast time with Neil and Jose. We gotta get a name. We
Uh,
do.
Someone actually gave us a name, a pretty good one. Yeah, I'll have to
Coffee and
find
tea. I don't know. Tea talk
I'll-
with Jose and Neil. Well, I mean,
or
Neil,
coffee
this is
talk,
starting
depending on what
already.
you wanna, depending on what you wanna drink in the morning.
But what's going on, Neil? What's going on, viewers? Good morning. Good morning. Um, yeah, I mean, like always, Neil, crazy market, right?
Crazy market. This time I have a timer on, so we're not going to miss the market open. Just an FYI. Right now, futures are flat. Despite yields being up, futures are flat. For those that did miss yesterday's market action, this is the beautiful thing that we had. Everything is red, but one green. One little guy here called Google Alphabet, worth $2 trillion, was green after being red when there was that Google I/O event. So maybe we can touch a little bit on that. You watched it, of course. I think you watched it. You watched it. What did you make of it? And then what did you make of this stupid stocks reaction when it was down 1.5%?
Yeah. So I first, if I can talk about it just as like a AI investor in general, doesn't matter if you're Nvidia, Broadcom, or whoever. I think moments like what I saw in Google I/O still tell me that we're really early in kind of the AI phase deal, because a lot of the things that they announced, I continue to get wowed. Would be the easiest way to kind of say it. Like, I got wowed with a lot of the things they announced. And as long as that keeps happening, Neil, I believe the AI market is pretty healthy. Um, the moment we stop, I stop wowing, means the market is not innovating as quickly, and that's when maybe I should think a little bit differently about the AI space. But overall, I did kind of got a nice, good indication that the market is still healthy. So great news for Broadcom, I would say, right? They have a lot of their TPUs are being used there by Broadcom, but the thing that really, two things really wowed my mind, Neil. First was VL3, the ability that now videos can have a sound and can kind of like, you can make it seem like a movie, is crazy to me. Crazy. It's not only, first I thought animation was insane, but now the aspect of having this machine think the animation and understand that when you're saying something, the words or the lips need to say something certain need to follow that photonics, and kind of if something is happening in the background, you should be able to hear that kind of background echo. That blew my mind completely. It was insane. And I do believe eventually we're gonna see where we're gonna have shows that are fully AI automated, created by random people on the internet. New IP is gonna be created by random people on YouTube. And then the second thing, Neo, is the AR glasses that they showed and their whole kind of glasses landscape. We saw a lot of cool stuff there from the glasses market. They showed us in live the kind of AR glasses that want to compete against kind of Meta's Ray-Bans, but they also kind of gave us a little bit of I wouldn't say, I don't know if a roadmap would be the right way because it wasn't like a yearly, but their overall solutions, they want to focus on like virtual reality, which is going to be very heavy headset, like maybe the Vision Pro or the Oculus. Then super light, which is just AI glasses, which maybe don't have any type of screens on them, and it's just pure sound. So they're playing this AR VR way of really strong, and that's something that I'm pretty excited because Google is one of the few companies that I'm really willing to give up my information for nothing, or all my data, as I use all their products almost, not almost, on a daily basis.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, VO, right now I only have access to VO2. I am on a free trial. VO3 is not yet available, unfortunately. But yeah, it was amazing. We've probably seen all of the clips. It's pretty insane. It's pretty insane how we went from that Will Smith type of video 2 years ago, and now we have a really high fidelity video with audio. And the audio actually makes sense, right? The audio actually follows the movement of the lips. The quality is insane. You have the background sounds, right? That sailor talking, and you hear the waves. It's pretty amazing. The AR glasses, I mean, they've already shown us a little bit about it I think a couple of months ago, and then I think even a year ago, like a very, very short demo. But yeah, this is the start of, I guess, a new computing platform. And then, of course, a day later, which was yesterday, you had that OpenAI announcement that they're going to acquire Johnny Ive's IO, also called IO company, for $6.5 billion, which, again, $6.5 billion for a company that literally still has zero things to sell is is quite amazing. It's quite amazing. But then again, if OpenAI is worth $350 billion, then what is $6 billion between friends? So yeah, no, I mean, yesterday's stock's reaction for Google made more sense than when the stock went down during the event, because everything that I've seen was basically them showing us, look, we are not behind at all. We're actually pretty much leading. I would say across the board, but pretty close to across the board. So yeah, and again, it's one of those companies where I'd happily pay even today's price to add more.
Agree, Neil. I mean, I don't know what it's sitting at right now, but in the 160s, we've had the luck of having it in the 150s. I mean, this is definitely one that maybe it was lagging in the evolution of large language models, or it looked like at the beginning, but no longer, Neil. It's large language models is no longer where that was just the starting phase. Now it's the ability to integrate all that into a way that consumers can use it very well. And like we're seeing with that recent acquisition that OpenAI made, Google is in the right place with its Pixel phones, with the various kind of search engines and platforms that it uses, and the various amount of other solutions like its Google Docs, its Gmail. So it has the right way to distribute that. And I think that's where we're at right now, Neil, is how we still don't know what it is, that magic distribution item. It's people, is it going to be the phone? People are saying it's not going to be the phone. It's something else. But that's, I think Google having this massive ability to understand the consumer definitely has at least an advantage on the where that distribution may end up. So pretty excited there. I do believe that $6.5 billion on OpenAI was just money spent. Unless they have some cool product that they are gonna announce really soon, I think they're just throwing money like no tomorrow. And poor SoftBank CEO or chairman for just transferring the money to some other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, but I do think it's a lot of stock. I think it's 4 billion in stock, I believe, because the 1.5 was already invested a couple of, I think, in Q4 last year. But yeah, I mean, it's a smart move by
Oh,
OpenAI.
so for OpenAI, it's mainly a stock deal,
Let me make
equity.
sure. Let me make sure that because this is something that I've read yesterday, and it makes sense. It makes sense because they are differentiating themselves from the, let's say, commodity LLM space. Because let's be honest, why should they be worth $350 billion when, well, Google is literally giving it away for free? And I mean, I don't know, but when you add other aspects, because I think they acquired Windsurf a couple of weeks ago as well. Now they're acquiring this company. Whatever is going to come out of it remains to be seen. Of course, there was a lot of hype around, oh, Johnny Ive, he was at Apple, he was part of the design team that designed the iMac and the iPod and the iPhone. Okay, cool. That was 20 years ago. I haven't heard this guy's names in the last decade or so. Yet in the last 24 hours, this name popped up everywhere because, yeah, he did something a long, long time ago when Steve Jobs was still around. So I don't know. You pay $6 billion to get headlines and some more hype. I guess that's the way to go in the AI space these days.
Yeah, I mean, I've never heard of the guy. I was not much of a was I an iPod user or very early? I don't know. But yeah, never heard of the guy. But I have heard, and I don't know if it's completely true that he had poached a lot of talent from Apple during the creation. So the acquisition probably also comes with a lot of Apple talent. I wonder if Tim Cook is like punching the air right now after all this, and kind of just, I mean, I think Apple right now is just being destroyed in all angles. But oh yeah, Neil, for some reason, completely unrelated to maybe the viewers, but to the stream, I can't see the questions. Chat isn't working for me on where we're streaming. So if you have any questions, feel free to pull them open, and I'll take any that might be sent to me or you.
Aha, that's not great. No question as of actually maybe one, but I don't think it's a company we follow. Do you guys have any Zim shipping? Great dividend stock. Also, do you own any gold mining companies? I guess I would guess we both have no gold companies, nor have we any Zim shipping stock.
Nvidia is the only gold I need.
Exactly. Picks and shovels for the AI gold mine.
That is true, yeah.
Zork, by the way, last time I asked WRD, we ride stock forecast, and yesterday it went up 30%. Think it will hit $30 to $40 end of this year, their dominance in Chinese market. I guess maybe this has also to do with the fact that another company went up quite a lot yesterday because of Nvidia, no? Think you did a video about that?
Yeah, so I didn't see if WeRide had a partnership with Nvidia recently announced, but Navitas did. I don't know if you want to pull up a chart real quick here, Neil, so people can just stop seeing our beautiful faces. But Navitas, I think, was up nearly 200% last time I checked last night. I don't know what it's looking like right now this morning. But this one really was a bit interesting, Neil. It shows that the market, it kind of shows to me, Neil, that the market, especially for these smaller companies, is really run by just data coming in through like SEC filings or press releases. And the reason I mentioned this is because Navitas yesterday, after the market closed, did announce that they are collaborating. It's not even a purchase of anything right now. Is that they're collaborating with Nvidia to kind of create this new type of solution to help with powering AI data centers. The main reason is, I don't know, Neil, if you saw the CNBC interview with Elon Musk that was like a day or two ago. Elon Musk mentioned that there is one of the power equipment is going to be a hurdle for the AI space pretty quickly. He actually mentioned that transformers in general was going to be one of the weakest points, that they're already seeing kind of markets where transformers, which are kind of used to kind of step down voltages, are becoming a bottleneck, that there's just not enough. So Nvidia seems to know that this is coming. So what Nvidia is doing is it wants to eliminate the need of certain transformers by creating this new type of power solution and innovating with a lot of players on having something better to kind of replace that bottleneck within the next year or two. So I think that was pretty smart. Now, Navitas is not the only one NVIDIA's partnering up with. They're partnering up with a lot of other players. And the reason I mentioned that the market only really cares about press releases, the press release from Navitas came yesterday after the market closed. But NVIDIA, on a technical blog, which isn't a press release, so nobody gets to see it in forms of the market, released it about 2 days ago, that they were partnering up with Navitas and all these other companies as well to kind of create this solution. So too long, don't read. I think I'm just going to start farming NVIDIA's technical blog and see whenever they mention a small company, and then kind of go from there to see if I can make these crazy 200 plus gains.
And then CoreWeave has been on a roll recently. I mean, look at this, more than a doubling in a month. Yesterday it was up another 19%. Jose, you're really collecting a lot of meme coins recently?
I'm meme coin galore. No, but I mean, I bought CoreWeave when in the 40s. I was super excited. I think I talked about it on Tuesday. I wanted to find ways to expose into the AI market without kind of investing in just Nvidia. And at the 40s, I didn't think it was crazy. I'm not one to buy here. I mean, I'm definitely hearing your thoughts here, Neil. If not, it doesn't seem like a dumb idea to take some gains here, because I mean, from 40, I'm already almost 2x this 80, so almost 2.5x in like a few weeks. So I mean, even if I just take my initial cost average, I still have plenty to ride on. But interesting that the stock, though, Neil, is moving on it, increasing its overall debt. That's one of the things that's moving it. I guess the market is seeing that if it is trying to increase its debt, it means that the revenue growth is right there behind it, that they have the demand, that they need to build it. The other thing, Neil, that I thought was it's good to know is this company, when it did IPO, it did reduce, because of low demand, it did reduce its IPO shares dramatically. I think it was, I did it yesterday, it was about 40 something million, and it dropped down to like the low 30 million, so about 10 to 12 million shares less. About 23% reduction. So in theory, it probably makes the most sense for it to kind of collect that right now and sell those shares that it had intended to sell at $40 at market prices. It makes even more sense like that. So it seems like with the current prices, CoreWeave was safe that during their IPO, the market sucked because they didn't sell all the shares that they did. And now they have the opportunity to sell them at almost more than double the price initially. And that, I don't know if that should be seen. I mean, luck strikes a few times, and it seems like luck struck for them here with their IPO being pretty weak.
Yeah, I mean, that's the timing. The timing was perfect, but didn't really look perfect at first. But now, I mean, at 110 before the market opens, and I mean, it keeps going up. So I wonder what happens pre-market. Pre-market, we are, yeah, again, flat-ish. So I guess the yields going higher and higher had its effect yesterday. But right now, it does seem like we are going to open flat-ish. Of course, we still have 10 minutes to go. I do wonder what Nebius is doing right now, because there was that period where Nebius and CoreWeave were going up and up and up in tandem, but right now it does seem like, I mean, it did grow quite nicely over the last month, but it definitely did not 2.5x. So yeah, there was a question here. First question from Kenny. I have a question. What are your thoughts about Bitcoin? Would you invest more in coins rather than Alphabet at this point? Plainly, I would take Alphabet over quite a lot of other companies around the world before I even think about investing in crypto.
Same thing. I mean, it's not a market I follow, and I feel like I have plenty of assets in the equity space that I don't mind investing into before getting into the crypto space. And yeah, so it's not like I'm bearish on crypto. I think stock. I mean, just like anything, it could continue to go up. It's just I don't know it. I don't know how to like put a value to it. Where companies that I see right now, especially in the AI space, like I can see a future potential space, but we see it's hitting new highs, right? 111,000. So congratulations to anybody holding Bitcoin and that purchased. I mean, just I want to say maybe 2 years ago, this crypto was like in the 20s or 30s, I believe, maybe even a lot, not even that long ago.
Yep, it was under 20 at the end of 2022. Yeah, the start of 2023, it was around 20. So very, very nice performance. Again, I'd say if you're interested in crypto, of course, you can go with the number one. But if you're interested in the whole crypto sphere, I guess you can go with platforms, right? Like Coinbase or Robinhood. At least you'll make money regardless of what coin goes up because they make money on transactions. Let's see. Have I missed the boat on Nebius? I mean, stock is up quite a lot in the last month. I don't think it's the end of their growth story. Far from it. So no, I'd say no, but it's up to you. It's up to you. Of course, I never like to chase stocks, right? Especially not those that have rallied quite a lot over the last couple of weeks. So I think we'll have time. I think we'll have time to accumulate more in this market. We've had a sort of a V-shaped recovery, let's call it, since the start of April. We're not yet at all-time highs from February. A lot of stocks are far from it. Market-wise, we're not that far, but we're not there. We're not there yet.
Yeah, and I mean, I think with this AI space, Neo, it's a market that is going to be very volatile. I mean, if Nvidia is a perfect example, the stock, well, it hasn't moved much from its all-time highs. I think the all-time highs is like 150. You've had the opportunities to buy the stock at 90s, at 100s in the past year or so. So I think for patient investors, a lot in this AI stocks, if you are bullish in them, there is going to be some random events, some DeepSeek moments, some demand crash happening, some capex reduction, some supply chain issue that will create some regulatory issues. So many things can happen in this AI space that you can see some of these stocks go down dramatically in such a short time. And I do believe that's when the opportunity lies for a lot of these AI companies that one would not want to chase too much into.
I agree. I've seen this question quite a lot on Nebius. We have a couple of Nebius questions here. Do you guys think that Nebius has a country of origin risk? I mean, Nebius founders and employees escaped from Russia. Maybe they have some connections to Russian agency. Why not, right? I mean, if you want to make up stories, yes, of course. Why not? But I mean, they've done the fully divested part of it. They got relisted. So I guess they're good to go. Their HQ is in Amsterdam. Plus, if you want to say that every Russian has connections, former president of Alphabet, Sergey Brin, was literally born in Moscow. So, yeah. And now we have Google today. So I don't think they have a country of origin risk because Nebius is a new company. It's not Yandex. It's literally a completely new company that's now based in Amsterdam. So,
Neil, I don't know if you can pull up a question from Chrissy B. Any stocks Nvidia? More comments. It's like any stocks Nvidia buys goes up 200%. I want to just reiterate that with Navitas, I don't think we've heard of any acquisition or purchasing evaluation. It was more just a collaboration. It wasn't even the promise of orders or anything, Neil. That to me is what's wild. It's not even a promise of any orders. It's just a collaboration of helping innovate some future technology. And they're not the only players that are going to get innovated, that are going to work with Nvidia on that one.
yeah, and don't you feel that in this AI I don't know, wave or whatever, it's 90% about PR and 10% about actual products and revenue.
I do, especially Neil, for the smaller companies. I think for sure for the smaller companies. I think now for the big giants, it's no longer about PR. I think they have to. I think they have to show actual values on what they're doing with this AI market, and I think maybe that's why Neil. Google I/O, while it was so crazy, I think it's amazing in forms of PR. The market you mentioned kind of dropped during it. And I think it's the perfect example. If some small company was to announce half a third of the products at 30% finish rate compared to what Google has, they would have had a crazy day.
Yeah, no, I agree. The big ones, of course, it's more about actually performing. But a lot of the smaller ones, I have a feeling it's all about making
Agree.
announcements. It's announcements, previews of the next announcement. It's pretty crazy. It's astonishing, especially if you look at the valuations of all of these AI companies. And then you look at publicly traded companies, and you're like, how does that make any sense, right? How is what was the comparison again? There was a company and somebody compared it to the current valuation for AMD, and it really didn't make any sense at all. Talking about before the market opens, a question for you: have you looked into Inod yet?
No, I think
Inod
I
data.
think it's like a company that provides software infrastructure for data centers, maybe. Um, uh, I'm gonna have. I keep hearing about it. It's 1 billion. I mean, Evan, appreciate this. I gotta put it on my list to, or at least I'll send one of my AI interns to go do some quick research and tell me a little bit more about it. Let me just put it in my notepad real quick. Evan, Inad, tell me more.
Inod data.
Yeah, I think for some reason they have a lot of data center players that are pretty big, and they provide some form of solution within their platforms. Um, but yeah, all right, Evan, I'll try to do some information on them. Evan says no, maybe I'm completely wrong. So Evan, if you have a little bit more, give me a 101 on it via chat. They train AI models for Mag 7 companies. Oh wow, interesting. Um, Yeah, so I'll definitely take a closer look at this, Evan. Appreciate this one, and like I said, I'll send some of my AI agents later today to go work on it. Neil, I got suckered. I got suckered in by Google. I'm paying that $200 a month subscription.
But yeah, at least did you switch
No, I'm
from
still
ChatGPT, or
ChatGPT.
you're still
Right
paying?
now they have that special offer that for 3 months you can get it 50% off, so it's like 100, I think. I think by the end of the 3 months, hopefully I choose one.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you choose Google. Otherwise, short the stock.
But yeah.
Tobias here, going back to the AI question, PR question. Do you think there is a small cap AI bubble if they aren't driven by fundamentals rather than PR? I think we both agree on that part of it.
Yeah, I agree, Neil. I mean, also with these small AI companies or these small companies, they usually tend to have also lower volume, so it's a lot easier. Just like any type of market, when you have a low volume, low market cap, and then you see a huge influx of buyer, you can see the stock prices jump up dramatically. I mean, you see this a lot, kind of like in the biotech market. Whenever they announce something cool, you see kind of these 100, 200% up, but it's usually a company less than $1 billion. So I think market cap matters, but yeah, I think the AI market, if I was to call it a bubble right now, I think it will be closer to the smaller caps opposed to the Mag 7 or the big tech that some people sometimes are worried about.
I agree. Apparently, well, as we wait for the market to open and this page to refresh, apparently Enphase is down 20% before the market opens. I wonder if there was a company specific reason or something
The
else.
sun is.
Oh, it's because of the tax bill.
I guess there's a credit remove there for some solar power stuff, probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, it was always the risk of it happening. All right, the markets are open.
Ooh, we got some green.
We have Google in green still. Amazing how this works. Crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. Um, what else is? Well, Microsoft is green. Apple is red. Palantir is green, of course. Why would it be red?
And Neil, I mean, we were talking a little bit about Nebius and CoreWeave. I haven't really read too much into Nebius, but yesterday I did a CoreWeave episode, and I was just looking kind of like forward valuation trends. I mean, for both these companies that I think are heavy growth plays, I was looking more at the price to sales ratio, and both of them at current forward price to sales ratio are about 10, I believe, or no, closer to 20 for both of them. I think, for example, Nebius was to do about $500 million in revenue for this year, and their market cap was closer to $10 billion. That's what I saw on charts. Maybe I don't know if the company is not being followed as much, so it could be wrong. So I think they're expecting about $500 million in revenue by the end of this year, and the market cap is closer to $10 billion. For CoreWeave Neo, it's actually about the same thing. They're expecting about $5 billion of revenue this year, but the company is actually no. For this is actually a market cap of 50, so the price to sales ratio there is about 10. Do you think that might be one of the reasons why there is this difference in forward price to sales ratio and valuations, that maybe the market might deem CoreWeave a little bit cheaper than Nebius in forms of those metrics?
Okay, so first up, Nebius is expecting their annual revenue run rate to be between 750 and $1 billion for the year. So the 500 was the previous guidance, I think a quarter or so ago. Now it's closer to 750 to $1 billion. So the price
Now it backs
price
down to about 10 for each now, if you kind of go on that top end.
Yeah, exactly. Because I do expect it to be closer to $1 billion, and since they are now valued at just above $9 billion, so yeah, it's about, I'd say it's about the same. But one, I guess you're pricing it ARR wise and not revenue, and the other one is revenue. So yeah, I guess there's that, because it's true when you look at Nebius its report, you look at revenue for a quarter and you're like, what is this? Only 60 million in revenue. But then if you look at the ARR, which to be honest is a bit more important, especially at this stage, you see that it's about to over 10x for this year. Plus they expect to generate billions in revenue in the coming years, becoming more profitable as well. Margin wise should expand. So yeah, I guess with CoreWeave, well, they do generate way more right now, so I guess it makes a little bit more sense. Plus, I do still think that Nebius is flying under the radar, because CoreWeave did get a lot of attention because of their IPO. Nebius not really, because they basically just got relisted on the exchange and didn't really do all the roadshows and all of that. So yeah, we'll see. But I don't want to see Nebius trading at 50 times sales or something like that, just for the sake of so the stock goes up. It just doesn't make much sense.
Yeah, agree. And just want to shout out Matthew. Matthew said didn't know you guys were doing the open now. Matthew, we still don't know what we're doing now, but I think we're doing a little bit. We're leaning more to the open. Unfortunately, Neil has to deal with me. I have to do some time changes due to babysitting time changes and the babysitter stuff. So hopefully this becomes the new norm. Yeah,
hopefully. Question from David: do you guys only have Nvidia and not AMD? Nope. Actually, Jose has both, but a lot more Nvidia, and I have AMD and the ugly duckling Intel.
The ugly duckling. Yeah.
By the way, did you hear the comment from Li Bhutan saying that they have 55% share in data center? I guess on this, maybe on the CPU server side of things.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder. I mean, you know what really helped them out a lot in, the Hopper series was that they were part of the DGX platform. That was their preferred CPU. So whenever you were buying an AI server, most of the time you were buying an Intel CPU with it. I wonder if that 55% though, Neil, is like past numbers, and obviously old data centers, but I would rather look more at like current sales and current market share, because I think that gives you more of an indication of who's winning the true server CPU space.
Yeah, I mean, this is something he said. When was it? On Monday, actually. Interesting. Yeah, they have 55% share. And then we have here more recent data suggests a more nuanced picture. Intel's data center CPU market share is estimated to be around 76.4% for x86 chips, while AMD holds 23.6. However, AMD is gaining ground, particularly in the high-end server markets. Okay, yeah, makes makes sense, to be honest. I mean, 55, that's quite a big number, to be honest. Did not expect that. Market-wise, I am surprised by the market's reaction today. A lot of flat, some green from the big guys right here. But based on the yields, we do have, HIMS is down 10% right now, for those wondering. HIMS is down 10%. Maybe I can look this thing up, although I think it's going to show us just a graph, which is not the best. So yeah, HIMS is down 10%. Enphase is down way more than that. No, 17.8.
I'm trying to see if there's any movements happening here in the semiconductor space. Nothing really. It's pretty quiet, even in the semiconductor market, Neil. You saw Wolfspeed, right? Reportedly, I don't know if it's been confirmed, but reportedly by certain outlets that it is preparing to file bankruptcy. Not a stock that I would follow, but it was interesting to see that play out.
Yeah, because I mean, we did touch on that a couple of times when people asked about it. There was also a management change there, right? A couple of months ago, but clearly did not work out. Clearly did
heavy
not work
investments
out.
in factories, and unfortunately for them, it happened during a bad time in kind of the silicon carbide market. So I guess they were expecting that the automotive and these types of markets would have turned a little bit faster. And it's actually taking a lot longer than previously expected. So I think for companies that deal in this space with power solutions, right now it's automotive, a major play for them. And you need to make sure you have a nice amount of cash flow or be able to withstand a negative time frame longer than you expect.
I mean, you're down 95% over the last 12 months. That's insane. But yeah, maybe someone will acquire them. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, if they already have all these assets, I think it's very, very likely that someone comes in and buys them and pays a few quarters for the dollars on their foundry equipment. So I think that's actually, I didn't even think about that, Neil, but that's actually, it would actually be beneficial for someone in that space that wants to get some cheap equipment. Matthew, I see you said you're currently 50% Nvidia, 10% Broadcom. You were originally 75% Nvidia, but had to come down to volatile too much for you. Curious, Matthew, what else do you have the other 40% in? Are you just waiting in cash for opportunities with the volatility, or did you find some other place that you enjoy?
50%. I mean, that's almost like the ETF we looked at this Tuesday or last week or something, like the ETF that has basically, what was it, 45% Nvidia, Broadcom, and I think ASML.
Did we look at one? I don't remember, Neil.
Is it the Van Eck one or is it the other one?
What's the tops? I don't remember.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Can't remember.
But yeah, I mean, 50% is still insane. I know Matthew actually has, from what I could tell, seems to have a nice amount of money. So that 50% is a lot.
Yeah, I mean, if he had that big position before, I mean, it's a nice win, a very, very nice win. GEV versus
yeah, a lot of power infrastructure play for the data center markets, like you mentioned. Still, AI trade bullish by very much. Meta and now added to Hood. Nice, nice. Got to get some Google in there.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, yeah, I think we answered that also on Tuesday. What's the top stocks on our watch list right now? To be honest, I mean, nothing that crazy that's attractive right now. I'd repeat the same thing I said maybe on Tuesday. It's probably something like Novo Nordisk or Evolution AB that might be interesting. That's just on the watch lists. Other than that, it's probably the usual stuff, the new holdings. With new and MercadoLibre, actually, there's been some movement from management there. MercadoLibre CEO is going to transition to being executive chairman, and new, I think their CFO is stepping down or something like that. So quite a lot of changes there. But other than that, on my watch list right now, nothing much.
Yeah, for me, Neil, on like my normal watch list of like companies that I really, really do know, is I think we talk about AMD, Google. Would probably be the top on my watch list right now as foremost watch list for potential buys. Now, GitLab is a company that I actually own a nice amount in, and it keeps really good cost basis again during the kind of market crash, but right now kind of pulling back down. I'm waiting for earnings, but GitLab is one that is also in my watch list, pretty strong, and one that Marvell's
Yeah.
also one in it right now. I think Marvell's getting hit dramatically. There are a lot of rumors that maybe they might be losing customers to Amazon, but there's also Amazon is a customer for their future Trainium. But also, we're also getting a lot of rumors that the Trainium 2, which they've worked on, is seeing actually additional orders, which could be very, very bullish for them. So Marvell is one, more of a high growth, high risk. The other one, Neil, that I don't know why I just started to relook at. I want to look at it. Never really looked at it, but Reddit. I mean, it kind of crashed from its overall peak of like in earlier February 7th of 2025, it was at $200. Now it's down to below $100. I know the market is scared about this for the AI story, right? I mean, if kind of Google AI overviews and all this are able to give you the answers a lot quicker, why would you go to like these Reddit platforms and stuff like that? I think the market is kind of seeing this right now. They were expecting a lot from it. Now they might think, oh, actually, might be the next check or the next is a check the one that everybody
The
uses in college to
education,
cheat.
yeah,
Yeah,
check, yeah.
yeah, so I wonder if the market is looking at it like that. I would love to kind of more read their earnings transcript a little closer and see what their overall plan is with AI. And if it is, it's one on my watch list to do more research on, but it's not something I would hold or buy right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's fundamentally, I guess they're doing better, but again, monetization wise, it's again it's purely ads, right? For now, it's purely ads, unless they suddenly add paywalls, which I think would destroy the whole purpose of it all. So, yeah,
And the ad
interesting.
market has been, unless you're, I think most ad companies have sucked except Google or Meta. I mean,
Yeah,
Snapchat, social have sucked. Um, what were some other ones? I can't think of. Snap. I don't
I
know
think
others.
Pinterest did okay. I
Okay,
think.
yeah, but yeah, I think that market is just really, really dominated by the big two. So it's very, very heavy. Very hard to be able to really get some name into it.
Yeah, I mean, it could be another, I guess, trade, right? A one where maybe this also gets picked up by Wall Street bets on Reddit, like, oh, or the stock of the platform is down a lot, it should go up, and then suddenly you have like a two bagger here just because there is momentum. Maybe there is a squeeze or whatnot. But I mean, for exposure, I have exposure through Google, I have exposure to Meta, so I'm not really that pressure to buy anything like a Reddit.
Yeah.
Um, Renato asks here about Melly at
Oh,
all-time highs.
yeah.
Are we at all-time highs?
Not sure, but I heard, I don't know if it happened yesterday, right? Is the CEO stepping down? I don't follow this much, Neil, but I heard like one of their top players is stepping down. Um,
Yes.
any thoughts on that, Neil? Is that something worrisome? I know certain companies, like if their CEO steps down, is seen like very scary. In some other aspects, the company is such a well-run machine that new blood is actually enjoyed because it could even push new growth opportunities. So, which do you see here for Melly?
Yeah, so he asked, do you consider about trimming some? No, not at all. It's one of those companies in the core portfolio where I basically just don't touch it at all. Yeah, so the CEO is transitioning to a executive chairman position, and then the current, I don't even know if it's this, if it's the, let's see. So in short, no. To be honest, it's not such a big deal. The commerce head will start as new CEO starting January 1st. So that's the big change. I mean, the CEO was there 26 years. He's now he's going to be executive chairman. It's a big change that came out of nowhere, which is a bit strange, but I'm yet to hear the letter. It is in Spanish, so I'll have to see if there is an English version of it. Probably there is.
Just copy the transcript and go to your AI to give
Yeah,
it
I,
to you in
I
English.
asked Grok to translate it in the comments, but Grok apparently no habla español.
You are too funny, sir.
Thank you very much. I am an AI generated machine. Um, Oliver is all in on Google. I mean, wouldn't say it's a bad move. Max asks here, are we getting closer to housing markets for America as well as European countries collapse? Actually, I did talk a little bit about that yesterday, so I think I still have something to share. Let's see. Some Redfin data. Hopefully, I didn't delete it. Here it is. So, this is from Redfin data. So home prices growth continue to ease rather quickly. As per Redfin, year-on-year change in median US home sales price fell to just 1.4% in April, which was the slowest since June 2023. Housing supply actually rose to a 5-year high, as you can clearly see. Total number of homes for sale rose in April to highest level since March 2020. New listings rose to highest level since July 2022, and that's a 8.6% year-on-year gain. As for the existing home sales, they did drop to a 6-month low. And then Zillow showed us basically that out of 27 out of 50 states reported monthly home value drops. So I don't know if you're in. I think you were looking to buy a house, no?
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at New Jersey, it's the one in the red. I think it's one of the few states that is actually going up faster than the rest of the market.
Then I
And
guess you sell your house and you move to somewhere
somewhere,
blue.
somewhere,
Here,
Florida.
Florida.
Yeah, Florida. That's the goal eventually.
Yeah, the
Um,
Florida man.
yeah, this is. I was gonna ask actually if they had numbers based on states. This because a few of my friends are also looking for houses, and it's like it's impossible up here.
Yeah, I mean, so to answer that question, I guess yeah, things are coming down, but I would say the longer rates stay up a lot, the more damage I guess it will cause eventually. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, so far we're at 4.6% for the 10-year, which I mean is quite it's quite high. It's quite high.
So Neil, any earnings this week that you've been following, or I feel like this week has been quiet in earnings. Let me just check what we have.
We had
Um,
Snowflake yesterday.
Oh yeah, it was Snowflake. That one was pretty good. I see the stock up a nice amount. What else do we don't nothing that I really care about um,
Yeah, no,
this week.
for this week, no, nothing much. I did release a Snowflake video, but yeah, it was a good quarter. I mean, the growth rates are still good, but they're coming down quarter
Mm.
after quarter. Same with retention rate; it's still very good, 124%, but it's also coming down quarter after quarter. Still unprofitable company on a gap basis, but net income should become, well, should go from a net loss to a net income this year, this fiscal year. But other than that, what companies did report this week? I guess we'd had like the TJ Maxx and the maybe Target. So from a
Yeah,
consumer standpoint, you get more information. Home Depot, uh, stuff like that. And today, is there a? I mean, yeah, we had Nebius. I guess. I guess that was one we follow. Tomorrow, today after the market close, we have Intuit. I guess Intuit. That's about it. But next week, yeah, next week
yeah,
is the big one, no?
yeah. Next week we have Nvidia on Wednesday, and then we also do have I think Marvell on Thursday. Uh, so that one's be interesting. I'm also kind of excited to listen to Broadcom's earnings, which is the week after that, Neil, because Broadcom's CEO is definitely one that just says whatever he wants, and I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure there's going to be a lot of questions about kind of like the NVLink fusion, and it's going to be entertaining to say the least. So I'm actually excited to listen to Broadcom's earnings 2 weeks from now.
yeah.
Um,
I'm pretty sure he's going to say the same thing again, like last time. Like, we don't work with the little guys that don't will not have high volume with us. We're only working with the big ones.
Yeah, I wish a lot of these companies were a little bit more transparent of the customers that they work with, especially in the semi-custom. I mean, it kind of sucks that you have to really dig deep. Like only real, they can't just say, "Hey, look, hyperscaler A is this company, and hyperscaler B is this company." I mean, I think that's a disservice to investors that you can't just tell them what customers you're working with for these semi-custom solutions, and you have to have them guess.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Every time I see like a presentation from, doesn't matter what company, when you see like a big customer one, big customer two, big customer three, I'm like, seriously, I was supposed to play here the guessing game? Just tell us the name. Just tell us the name.
What else? Do we have any questions, Neil, coming in? Any
One
thoughts?
for you here. I from your viewer. Scott asks, if someone were to happen to find an advanced chip from a T800, do you think that could be a threat to Nvidia, or would they copy the technology to make a better chip?
The T800, am I thinking of the Terminator movie?
I mean,
Um,
let's actually see. Yes.
am I? Is that right?
Yeah. I was like double checking. Maybe it's a Huawei one. They wanted to take.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think it's a Huawei chip. They're the Sense B9. They're in the 900s, I think, right now. I don't know. All right, so let me see. Scott says yes. So if someone were to happen to find advanced chips from a Terminator, do you think that could be a threat to Nvidia, or would they copy the technology to make a better chip? I don't think if we were to find advanced technology, reverse engineering is one thing. I think that's extremely hard. Then to mass produce it is a whole different story. So, for example, I mean, ASML, you can kind of buy their machines and kind of look how they're built. The Chinese space has been trying to do that forever. They take it apart, they look at all the things, they try to remake it, but we're still. No one can really do it. I think at the end of the day, it is some form of art that only a certain company can do due to experience. So even if you find an advanced chip, trying to copy it is a whole different level, unless that is your business, the art of copying and the art of it. So I don't know. I think it, a few companies would be able to copy it and do it really good. I think Nvidia would be able to find something and make it their own pretty quickly if we found some advanced alien or robotic technology, Scott.
That would be something. That would definitely be something. Um, Waldo here said, I read an article about Micron saying their low margins made it a no buy. Did you read anything about Micron more recently?
No, I mean, right now we do know that the low margins is probably in the consumer space, and I think they've talked about that during the earnings call, that
Mm-hmm.
that's a little bit more competitive, not only because not and it's mainly competitive because it's such a low inventory stage right now. Consumers aren't really buying new PCs, new phones, or new anything, so the competition is there and they're trying to sell, so that right now is kind of low margins. um so i mean obviously, I think that's the biggest risk for memory Waldo, is just the margin concern and over inventory. The other, looking at that seesaw, is HBM. When you make HBM, there is a trade-off ratio. That trade-off ratio is going to be eating a lot of the inventory of things like DRAM and solutions. So that can also offset some of the lower margins. So I'm not a Micron shareholder. I see the growth opportunities, but I definitely see kind of that risk that you talk about, Waldo. But that's usually mainly during over inventory issue, which we're still seeing in the consumer side.
Yeah, and I mean, the only reports that I've seen is that DDR4 and actually I think DDR5 prices are going up. So I guess that should help margins as well. I think prices for 26 are going to increase anyways. So that should help them with margins going forward.
Yeah, some stories that I've heard, not confirmed yet. I have to do a little more information. Is HBM4 yields are actually a little bit lower than expected, so it's going to make the market a little tighter. And uh, I guess that's going to be a discussion during kind of upcoming earnings call. But HBM4, I think, is more for chips of next year, and there's still time to improve. But that shortage can definitely create some form of bottleneck for the AI chip space if we continue to see it.
Yeah, no, for sure. Um,
Yo, look at Google, 4%. We can see Scott. Good call. Good
yeah.
start today for Google. Google call. Good call the other day.
David, you said Uber looks a deal with its current growth rate. I know Bill Ackman has bought. I mean, us.
Bill watched this channel before.
Exactly.
That's why he bought.
We bought in the low 60s. We
Eh.
bought Uber in the low 60s.
um,
Oh, our betting guy. Okay, so I have to double check this with you. Was the bet that AMD ends the year above 120 or hits 120 before the end of the year? Do you remember?
let's see what. I mean, we can definitely look at the streams later on.
Because
See.
Ariel said it has to hit. It needs to end above 120. I thought it just needed to hit 120.
Oh, all right. I mean, I still think I still think it's on. It's going to be on our end.
Yeah, I think so too. So Ariel, get ready, get ready. But I'm sure you were surprised that AMD hit 122 last week. I don't know
I
what
mean,
it's
that's
doing today, but
yeah. I mean, I'm pretty excited, Neil, for the overall event of AI. I want to see what customers they. I mean, they did say net new hyperscale customer. Um, I don't want to be rug pulled by Lisa, and I don't see. I see some fake ass hyperscale player up there.
yeah. No, I agree. I think the event better deliver because Computex, let's be honest, wasn't that wow, right? They announced a couple of new things here and there, not that wow. Did Lisa Su already have her talk with the analyst talk, or
I'm not sure if she has had the talk. I haven't seen any transcripts. Normally, that is a transcript. I also saw that Nvidia's had a kind of like a Q&A session, but I haven't seen the transcript around. Maybe I got to start going to these events. I got to start getting a freaking media pass or something.
Ariel doesn't believe that AMD hit 120 last week, so let us show him exactly on the screen when
Pull
it
up the
hit.
receipts.
I will pull up the receipts 110%. As you can see right here, I'll even pull it lower. Hey, what is this? See, this is 122.
Yeah.
This. We zoom in even more. AMD 122. No, 117 was not the top.
I think it was
122.
the top on the close.
Yeah, if you look at Google,
Yeah. The Google
okay,
number. Yeah.
yeah, okay. Google number doesn't really give us the lowest and the high, so
Yeah.
no cheating here. No cheating.
Let's see. Anything going on? Anything moving like crazy, Neo? And does anybody have any questions for Neo? Let's see. Oh wow, Surf Robotics is up 18% right now. Not sure what's happening there.
And everything that Nvidia had the link with is up. What the heck is this?
Wolfspeed is up 6%, even though it's still pretty shitty right now. Marvell
Yeah.
up 3%. At Astera Labs up about 6%. There seems to be some bullish sentiments happening. What?
Yeah. Well, how is that possible when we stream?
We were streaming, yeah. I mean, this is not supposed to happen.
Yeah, look at this.
Google up 4%. Nice. Let me just pull up my portfolio really quickly.
Jose, do you want to bet? You want to bet on Marvell?
I mean, I think this is. I like it. I think it's more of one of the riskier plays in like the bigger. Right. Let me say, it's a $50 billion company, right? So they're obviously. Let me see the market cap of Marvell. I think it's about 70, 52. I was close the first time. It's a nice market size company. It has a business. So there is some stability in that business. I do believe the AI market, though, creates a lot of volatility and risk, and the ASIC solution. I like Marvell at these levels of 61. It's one of the few that I'm thinking of using some of my CoreWeave winnings onto, because I really am excited about future growth potential. But there's a lot of competition in that space, a lot of competition. But the data center market, I still is pretty bullish. But in my opinion, it definitely doesn't have the moat that Broadcom has. Broadcom is winning ASIC solution wins like no tomorrow. Marvell, not so much. It definitely has some wins, especially I believe in the CPU side, it has some wins. So there is growth opportunity here, but it comes with risk. I believe for me, the risk is worth it for increasing my position overall.
I guess Broadcom also has, I mean, not also, they have that huge advantage because of the networking side of things, which again goes back to what we said on Tuesday when Nvidia talked about unveiling Fusion and did not mention Broadcom on that list.
Yeah, I mean, Marvell also does have those same type of solutions, Neil, but it's just Broadcom is definitely the leader in that space right now. So
Yeah.
I think Broadcom is just saying, "Hey, look, I don't need you, Nvidia. I want to take all the margins for me." And that's why I'm pretty excited to listen to the earnings call. I'm pretty sure that's how I forget Huck 10.
Not Hawk
Is
Tua.
Yeah, that's
what a downfall that has been. My God.
the rise to fame and destruction.
Yeah, self-destruction.
Yeah.
Oh well. I guess it's better for us to close out the stream when things are relatively green compared to what we did the last couple of times. Unless someone has more questions. I did want to say a quote from Jensen. Over half of the world's AI researchers are based in China. Pretty insane.
Yeah, definitely insane.
Pretty
What's
insane.
more insane is Google up over 4%.
Gene Munster must not like this. He must not like this. The guy has had so many bad takes on Google, and somehow it's always, oh, this is bad for Google, but Apple is fine. I'm like, what?
Ah,
How does that make any sense? But okay, I don't
yeah.
care. We're making money, and that's the most important part here.
Mhm. All right, Neo. All right, guys and gals. Appreciate watching and tuning in with us. If you have any recommendations, Neil and I are here are just kind of like chilling and hanging out, and you guys are joining us along the ride. But if there's any ways we can make these streams a little bit better for you guys, we try to answer as many questions, but would appreciate any form of feedback to make the streams better. If there's certain types of screens, I'm not going to be playing, or I don't want to be playing videos in the back like CNBC, but I'd rather just talk and just hang out. I think that's what we really want to do this, but feel
Yeah.
free to give us any form of feedback of what can make these streams a little bit better for y'all.
And we are going to try to be more consistent, I guess, more consistent going forward. It's probably going to stay at the open because I think that's where it's most interesting. FICO, we are already over our 1 hour, but I did talk about FICO in yesterday's video. So if you want a longer answer, yesterday's video I talked about a FICO throughout a segment. It's a very good company, expensive, did get pulled back because of a pricing power, anti-competitive. But I'll suggest you go watch that video of yesterday.
Crispy is still waiting on the couch background. Couch actually sent it to me, so I'll work on it. I'll work on it
Yeah.
for sure.
All right. With that said, hopefully we stay green until the next time, and then hopefully we still stay green.
Stay green. Yeah. Let's.
All right.